Hi everyone, welcome back to my room. Today, I want to take you on a tour of a very special place. No, not this tidy desk. I want to invite you to visit the Museum of Unfinished Projects. Look at this corner. The ukulele I bought last summer, with a determination to become a chill indie artist. The result? I learned exactly 3 chords. And now it's serving as an extremely expensive hat stand. And over there, the high-tech running shoes. When I ordered them, I imagined myself running every morning, sweating, getting fit. In reality, they've touched the ground exactly twice. Once to try them on in my room, and the second time to run to the gate to pick up a delivery. Do you see yourself here? Why does this keep happening? We often blame ourselves. Oh, I'm too lazy, or I have no discipline. But wait, don't label yourself just yet. The truth is, your brain is playing a highly sophisticated chemical game. When you start something new, like buying a course or writing the first page of a novel, your brain doesn't just see the action, it sees a new identity. The moment you swipe your card for those shoes, your brain doesn't think about waking up at 5 a.m. to run. No, it thinks, done, I am a runner now. And boom! It rewards you with a massive dose of dopamine immediately. You feel satisfied before you've actually done anything hard. That's the trap. We love the feeling of starting, because it feels like a sweet promise without the effort. But when the honeymoon ends, well, that's when the trouble really starts. So, what happens when the honeymoon phase fades? Welcome to the Dopamine Cliff. To understand why we quit, we have to look at 2 things: biology and environment. First, biology. There is a mechanism in your brain called reward prediction error. Here is the cold, hard truth. Dopamine is not the molecule of pleasure. It is the molecule of anticipation. It is designed to make you crave things, not enjoy them. When you started your project, your brain predicted a massive reward. This will change my life. The prediction was sky high. But then comes day 14. The work becomes repetitive. The results are slow. Suddenly, reality is less than expectation. When this error happens, your dopamine crashes below your baseline. This drop feels like physical pain. It feels like heavy, suffocating boredom. But here is the second factor, and this is why it is so much harder for us than it was for our parents. The environment. We are living in a war zone of cheap dopamine. Think about your average day. You scroll TikTok, you check Instagram, you watch Netflix. These are all sources of high-intensity, low-effort dopamine. Your brain is being trained thousands of times a day. That reward should come instantly and effortlessly. So, when you sit down to write that book or learn that language, you are asking your brain to switch from Ferrari speed to walking speed. Compared to the flashing lights of social media, the slow progress of real work feels unbearable. Your brain screams abort mission. It's not just that the work is hard, it's that the work is boring compared to the super stimuli you carry in your pocket. You aren't just fighting laziness. You are fighting against a brain that has been rewired by modern technology to intolerate any form of delay. Now, let's talk about the mistake we make when we try to fight this dopamine crash. We try to use motivation. We look at the mountain of work writing a whole chapter, running 5 kilometers, and we try to hype ourselves up. But this is a trap. When you look at the big goal, your brain registers it as a threat. It sees a massive energy expenditure with no immediate reward. So, it triggers resistance. It freezes. The solution? Stop looking at the mountain. Look at your feet. This is the 2-minute rule, popularized by David Allen and James Clear. The idea is to scale your habit down until it takes less than 2 minutes to do. Read 30 books becomes read 1 page. Do yoga for an hour becomes take out my yoga mat. It sounds stupid, right? It sounds too easy. But that is the point. You are trying to trick your primal brain. If I ask you to run a marathon right now, your brain says, no way. But if I ask you to just tie your shoelaces, your brain says, fine, I can do that. The goal is not the workout. The goal is the ritual of starting. Once you have tied your shoes and stepped out the door, the hardest part is over. Physics takes over from there. An object in motion stays in motion. You don't need enough energy to finish, you only need enough energy to start. So, You used the 2-minute rule. You started. But now, you face the long, silent middle. We call this the valley of disappointment. The problem with long-term goals is that feedback is delayed. You run today, you are still overweight tomorrow. You write today, your book is still bad tomorrow. Your brain hates this delay. It wants a cookie now. To survive the valley, you need to hack your feedback loop. You need a visual scoreboard. Jerry Seinfeld had a famous method. He had a big wall calendar. Every day he wrote a joke, he put a big red X's on that day. After a week, he had a chain. His only job was not to write a good joke, but simply, don't break the chain. Or try the paperclip strategy. Put 2 jars on your desk, one filled with 100 paper clips, the other empty. Every time you write a page, or do a rep, move 1 clip to the empty jar. Watching that empty jar fill up gives you the immediate visual satisfaction that your biology is begging for. Finally, we need to have a serious talk about boredom. We think boredom is a sign that we are on the wrong path. We think, if I was passionate about this, it wouldn't be boring. That is a lie. The only difference between the elite and the average is not talent. It is that the elite can endure the boredom of doing the same thing over and over again. Amateurs only work when they feel inspired. Professionals work on a schedule. If you only write when you feel like it, you are a hobbyist. If you write when you hate it, that is when you become a pro. So, if you are staring at a half-finished project right now, don't throw it away. Just acknowledge that the honeymoon is over, and that is actually a good thing. Real love, whether for a person or a passion, isn't found in the fireworks of the first date. It is found in the quiet, boring Tuesday evenings. It is found in the commitment to stay when the excitement is gone. Success is often portrayed as a highlight reel of big wins. But in reality, success is just the ability to tolerate the mundane. It is the ability to do the same thing over and over again without losing enthusiasm. Go pick up that dusty guitar. Put on those running shoes, even if you only walk to the mailbox. Embrace the plateau. Fall in love with the boredom, because that is where the real work and the real you is built. I'll see you on the next plateau. Keep going.